where you could play, you would switch between Spider-Man and Venom. And
Oh, friend
in
and
one of
foe?
no, I don't think it was friend or foe.
Because in friend or foe you could do that shit.
But so one of the first Venom missions is you're wreaking havoc and shit. And one of the things that it's like, one of your objectives is like, oh, throw this fucking motorcycle into the bar. So you do. It was Wolverine's motorcycle.
Oh,
And so you have a boss fight against Wolverine.
that sounds like Venom City or some shit.
I remember specifically it was called Ultimate Spider-Man. And that was it. There was no like subtitle or anything else. It even came with like a little comic that showed little origin story for Venom.
Yeah.
I mean, now that you speak about the Hulk game and you speak about the fucking Spider-Man game, there was also a Wolverine game that nobody talks about, which was you remember Wolverine's best movie ever called Origins?
You remember how we always got Gambit after that, right?
Yeah. Bro, fuck Channing Tatum. Who cares? See the real bit is, besides them having the best Deadpool I've ever seen.
I'm sure you love that Deadpool.
Oh, I love that Deadpool so much. It's like, it makes so much sense. This is high quality. Anyways, what was it called? So there was a game called Wolverine X-Men, or sorry, Wolverine Origins, right?
Yeah.
And it followed the same path as the movie, and you play as Wolverine. I was like, oh, cool, you get to play as Wolverine. And then I was like, oh, you unlocked a new move. Okay. And then I jump onto a guy's shoulders, punch him in the face, open the claws, rip out his skull. I was like, what the fuck?
Yo.
What the fuck? Yo. And there's another one where you like grab them by the shoulder and just shank them in the stomach multiple times. I'm like, yo, why is this so? Wolverine using his claws to kill people. I thought he just gets pinned to the wall by Magneto.
Not inaccurate.
Like, it was such a violent game because there was just hordes of thugs with guns, and you're just like, going through them like a fucking blender, bro. I was like, why is this game so good? There is a scene, I don't even remember the full context of the scene. You're like escaping some sort of base. I vaguely remember this big ass tunnel, and there's a bunch of like military Humvees driving in a single direction as the tunnel floods with water. Right?
Yeah.
And you're jumping from vehicle to vehicle, murdering people.
No.
God, it was so bloody. It was so good.
Actually, that reminds me of another bit. Fucking, so that game with Venom, you could eat people in that game to regain health.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds like Venom City, where like everyone starts getting taken over by symbiotes and shit.
No, that didn't happen in the game.
That was another Spider-Man. Though, if you've ever heard of Friend and Foe, they did have a really stupid, like Spider-Man has had some goofy ass abilities in video games over the years.
Yeah.
In this one, there was like a centrifugal force move where Spider-Man would web an enemy, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Jump into the air, and they would both spin in circles, and then he would let go, and the enemy would go flying, and he wouldn't go in any direction. I'm like, wait, what?
Oh, actually, no, I know that move. I know that move. They've included that a few times, I think.
Yeah, because but this one, because I've seen it like in the new Spider-Man, he does something similar, but he stands stationary in the air. With this move, it's like, think of the axis being off a little. Like, the center of the spinning force was a little bit short from Spider-Man. Not on Spider-Man, short from Spider-Man, so he looks like he's going ham.
Yeah.
It was also the best spam bull move because you could just, you know, web someone, throw them off the cliff, repeat, just abuse those movements.
Yeah.
Spider-Man kills guys, don't worry about it, it's fine.
You know.
That's actually a pinnacle point of his character, that, like, the first time he goes out here and he murders someone.
I remember, sorry, it's gonna go like a little off topic, but it's still gonna involve Spider-Man, just not the game. What's it called? A friend of mine who's like a big Spider-Man fan, he's like, oh yeah, you're gonna have to, he's like, read this comic, and I was like, why? And he goes, you know how Spider-Man likes to talk a lot? And I go, yeah. And he's like, just
Spider-Man doesn't talk in this one, and they get scared.
Yeah, like where he gets like
that's...
sick or something. And I'm just like, what the hell?
He doesn't feel like talking, and they get scared and they turn themselves in. Yeah, it's a common trope with Spider-Man, where when he's not talking or not wearing his outfit, he's not fucking around anymore.
Yeah, I mean, there was, in that Spider-Man TV show, the cartoon, when he got the fucking Venom suit, there's one time where he goes and takes out the entire Sinister Six without saying a word, and it's because he's asleep the entire time in his suit.
That's great. That is just
that happens
great.
a bit. Oh, you know what's my favorite one?
What?
And then the mainstream found out about it. Is there was one time where Spider-Man went against a villain, and he started wiggling his fingers at him. And the guy's like, "What are you doing?" "I'm summoning spiders." "You can't do that."
Yeah.
Of course I can.
Spider-Man.
I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Hello, my lovely child.
You gotta love when Spider-Man just...
Go deal with your child.
I like how Javi has like just one like on his live stream.
Should be like that. Also, Ricky was saying that we should talk about Spider-Man abilities in the original PS1 game. I don't remember a lot of the abilities. I remember specifically that there was Punch and Web.
Look, man, do you know what there was in Spider-Man? There was
Webstone and Fireworks?
No. Abuse the laws of physics with your web slinger. That's what it was. There's no in between. Every game he's breaking the laws of physics. There's not a single game where I haven't seen him break the laws of physics. There's also not a single game where he doesn't murder everyone there. Like, people say that, like, the Batman games are excessive because, you know, he's hitting people with rubber bullets, shock gloves, and beating the shit out of them. Meanwhile, Spider-Man's like, I'm just gonna throw someone off the building, it's fine. I'm gonna throw someone off Mount Everest, it's fine. No, he doesn't even say they'll live, he's like, goodbye.
I'm not gonna lie, what's it called? I want to see
casually
a game.
committing murder.
You know, just one of these Spider-Man decides to not hold back his punches anymore and just like knocks a dude's head clean off.
He's done that. It's not.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't there a time where Doc Ock was in control of his body and he punched a dude, you know, and killed him instantly? It's like, holy shit, Spider-Man's been holding back.
And the fact that he confronts him about it, like, hey, yo, did you know you had all this strength? And Spider-Man's like, yeah, I don't want to kill people, you know? I just want to make sure. Yeah, and Doc Ock's like,
there's at least 50 pages of the comic where Spider-Man picks up a gun in desperation.
Just gotta murk some people sometimes.
Oh,
you gotta do that mercenary work.
As much as I love, you know, the trope of, like, the hero who refuses to kill, sometimes you gotta kill a motherfucker.
Is it? Like, hold on. So, and this is my disappointment with Batman Arkham family. What they should have done is they should have made another Arkham game, right?
Right.
Fuck Nightwing, fuck Batgirl.
Okay, you're almost there. There's a cargo ball chopper waiting at the rendezvous point. Get in, attach the cargo hook to your van, and fly the whole thing to the buyer's barge. How I got into this business, I will never know.
But it's an FPS. You know? Where you get to play as Red Hood, otherwise known as Batman with a Glock.
Wait, hang on. Are you talking about that fucking multiplayer Batman
No,
game?
fuck that. I don't want that.
Yeah, I'm saying, are you saying you don't want that and you want this?
I mean, I kind of want, but what I want, because that one seems like a street beat 'em up.
It already kind of looks like shit.
Like, did you ever see the DLC where you play as Joker, just murdering all the other villains?
What was it DLC? I thought it was part of...
Alright, I've been watching some video tutorials.
Yeah,
You got to position the helicopter above your vehicle, deploy the hook thing, and like lower down onto it, like a gentle tea bag. You'll hook on, and you'll take it nice and slow, and pull the van out of there.
But you've got, 2 Glocks instead.
Oh, he has everything, bro. Like, have you seen the Red Hood movie?
No, there's a Red Hood movie? Wait, okay, wait, hang on, the animated one?
The animated one.
Okay, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a few iterations of it,
here's my, yeah, there's a few iterations. So, I also wanted to talk about this because I was thinking about it earlier. So DC has a bad issue, or not an issue. DC has 2 different styles and one in the middle. That doesn't really count, but DC has 2 styles. One, friendly, energetic, heroic, you know. What's the need to look at? But you have that like very bright and friendly aspect of DC, you know.
Yeah.
And then you have that dark and just sad, morbid, and fucking madness aspect. Yeah. Well, that falls into that category.
Zack Snyder wasn't, but...
Well, yeah, because he doesn't like Superman. Like, the thing, my biggest issue with people, like Zack Snyder, he doesn't like Superman. He doesn't like Batman. It's like, who did the Christian Bale movies?
Fucking Christopher Nolan?
Yeah. They don't like those superheroes. You can tell they're embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
You know? So they don't like writing the characters well. Because, like, Superman is not supposed to be dark. You know, like, Superman fights some fucked up people, but he does his best to help people. Also, Superman kills. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I was watching the animated series, and he like put his fist through so many people's chests. I was like, God damn.
Hey, you made the sale.
There's like, he doesn't even have the Batman thing of saving them at no cost. There's like, oh, there's a bomb right there, and it's gonna kill both of us. He's like, okay, I'm out. Superman, open it away. And I was like, what? It's fucking funny. But like, see, if they want to go dark, because you know, you have Superman, who, yes, he tries to be a paragon of justice, but he's supposed to be happy. He's supposed to be a little cocky. He's supposed to be, you know.
He is the best of us.
When he stands up, you should feel safe. In his movies, they were just tragic and depressing, and it's like, bro, this is like, I've never seen a country boy winning a sports game and be like, yeah, I'm sad. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You have characters they haven't even touched. DC, like, you know how good the Joker movie was?
Really good.
Because you had a dark and depressing character, and they put him in a dark and depressing movie, and that's good. That makes sense. For fucking, like, if you want to make a dark and violent and gritty movie where you can actually kill some motherfuckers, just do Red Hood. Imagine you open up on a scene of gangsters cutting up the city, selling drugs, damaging, blackmailing, beating down the city, and then it's brought to you by then the next thing you see is people start going down. You start seeing gunshots, fights. The heads of these like gangs and organized criminal organizations are just freaking out because someone's hunting them down, and you basically follow Red Hood as he, reverse sweeps all the organized crimes, and just you basically can do a gang warfare movie with an anti-hero that's kicking ass,
Hey yo, we're doing Call of Juarez, but with Red Hood. Let's go.
Basically.
Bad boys.
Fucking know.
Yeah. Because Red Hood's such a good character.
Yeah.
Like he has a point. Like he's never, like people say he crosses the line too much. He's like, bro, I want to gun down Joker. Hey, you see these sociopaths and people selling to kids? Yeah, I shot him in the kneecap. I don't give a fuck.
I remember there was so I don't read comics. What do you call it? But I watched Comic Story, and I remember there was one time where he had kind of made amends with Batman and all that good shit. He's like, oh yeah, rubber bullets and all that fucking shit. But he came upon because there was what was I can't remember the supervillain's name, but basically he was passing out drugs that would like show you your greatest fantasies or whatever. And there was this kid who he was like taking home because like his mom had ended up hospitalized because of it. And the dad was there, and it turns out like the dad was the dealer, and he was giving it to both his wife and was going to give it to his son. And so Red Hood is just like, pop. And I'm like, you know what? That's not crossing the line to me. Deserved. Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. I wish somebody can do that to a certain animated character from a different series. Cough, cough, show Tucker. Cough, cough. I'll never forgive that.
I mean, he got his. He got his head blown up.
I mean,
okay.
Either way, the point is, like, if they wanted a gritty series, if they want that violence, if they want the I am the justice, they can just do Jason, bro.
Didn't they fucking include Jason Todd in the fucking the Titans show?
I think so. I don't watch the Titans show. I don't like DC live action. Honestly, I know a lot of people are gonna talk shit to me about this, but I really like Shazam.
I mean, from what I've heard, it's a real good movie. I haven't seen it myself, but I hear it's real good.
It's fun because it's like, oh, kid with superpowers. Oh, is he gonna be dark and depressed? And nah, they're gonna have a ball of time. They're gonna do Fortnite dances as they beat up crooks. And I was like, you know what?
That's something that that's something a kid with superpowers would do. Just like fucking.
Yo, bro, let's make YouTube videos. Yeah, that sounds like.
Dude, that sounds like us if we were to get fucking superpowers. Like, hey, yo, do you guys want to like meet up and just do YouTube videos about like blowing shit up?
He's like, nah, bro. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pretend that we're what's it called? An RC. No, not RC. That we're a drone channel. We just get a bunch of sky shots. And they call them like.
You know what? We'll just recreate the movie Chronicle. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love. Bionic.
Wait, that's the one with the three best friends who get the superpower, and one just like constantly practices his power every day.
It was the fucking quiet kid.
Yeah, no. Ever since I saw
first
that
he
movie,
accidentally kills a black man with a lightning strike. Then he goes psycho and shit.
Oh, so you mean a white guy gets power and uses it irresponsibly? I wonder where that happened.
I wonder too. But that was the movie that taught me, hey yo, don't fuck with a quiet kid.
Also,
that was the movie that taught you that?
Hey man, think about it. The year that it came out, and before the pew-pews in schools were happening.
There's always been pew-pews in schools.
I know, but not as frequent as now.
I feel like it was always the thing of like, oh yeah, the quiet kid, you be nice to him, so he won't, nothing happens to you in the future.
Have you seen what was it? There's this YouTube channel that does like modified strike videos for bowling, and one of them like it shows a pin that's like getting bullied by other pins, and then like a bowling ball fucking helps that one pin up, and the next like later on the pin gets a note that says, "Don't show up to school tomorrow."
I'm gonna be honest, Kiko. You got me back in there at the end, but at the beginning, when you mentioned the pins and the bowling ball and shit, I will be real. I was thinking of that one fucking bowling pin animation where it's getting fucked.
Man, these young cats is crazy.
Truly,
no?
that video has corrupted everything.
Oh, that's funny as fuck. Have you seen the Harley Quinn show?
I saw the first episode of it because it was for free.
Oh, I think the first episode's one of the weaker episodes, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah, it was alright.
All I know is that at one point Harley goes like gay for Poison Ivy, and like it fucks up their relationship.
She's always been gay. She's always been gay for Poison Ivy. Have you ever heard about the comic book series Deceased?
I have not.
It is like it's the second time DC's like, hey yo, DC but zombies.
Oh.
It was pretty good.
And do you know how the whole series is gonna go to shit real quick? Guess who's the first hero to die of this?
Batman.
Batman.
Ah, yes.
That's how you know they're. Yeah, this is over. This is game over. Time to leave the planet. You know?
What it seemed like it took them a while to lose both of them.
No, Batman dies in the first.
No. Batman dies almost immediately. But like Superman and Flash, they were there for like.
They survived. They survived for a bit, but then Flash gets bit, and then half the world gets eaten by Flash because, Flash was such a menace that he was infecting countries in seconds. So Superman's like, I have to catch Flash. How are you gonna catch Flash? I'm gonna run around the world in the other direction and go straight through him. It's like, oh no. And he crashes through Flash and he gets infected.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, Superman. No, are you gonna turn? You guys need to get as far away from here as you can. I'm gonna fly as far away as I can to buy you some time.
And he did not fly far enough.
He flew very far. I don't know what you're talking about.
He did not fly far enough.
Yeah, I mean, there's nowhere far enough. No. So, Deceased was such a popular run that DC's like, yo, can we milk this a bit longer? What if we show what happened to everybody? Right?
What do you call it? From what I remember, I think it was Bat Family, Sandra King survived, Red Hood survived, but died later on after having a decent life. Damian took over for, Bruce.
Yeah.
Nightwing and Tim, they also died, like, real early on.
Hi, everyone. Okay, no, but we're getting back to the point. So, guess what they found in Gotham?
What did they find in Gotham?
So, in Gotham, there's this giant, like, plant, right?
Yeah.
And they're like,
oh, that's right. They fucking,
And then they open up the plant. Guess what? Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy have just been vibing there. They're just in their little love nest. And then people are like, Ivy, let us in, we're gonna die out here, and she's like, fuck you, why should I care? And then Harley's like, oh, come on, Ivy, you can't just let him die, they're like humanies and stuff.
Humanies.
And it's like, so it's pretty interesting. But yeah, no, they've always been that. They've always been together. Like, Bang, Marry, Kill is one of my favorite comics now. Which is just, besides, you know, two sociopaths on the loose, it's a very positive representation of LGBTQ. But no, they've always been together in the games, in the books, in the movies. It's just always been a part of like the New 52 Harley Quinn, even though that's technically over. But it's just ingrained.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It just the issue is, you know, sometimes Poison Ivy goes crazy.
The only reason why
Poison Ivy going crazy? No.
It's fun. I mean, my favorite part is
the ego terrorist? No.
See, hold on. That's the funny part, because as time goes on, Poison Ivy is less of a villain.
Of course I can tell you about it.
You know?
and more of an
Cause she can't. I mean, like I remember the part where like there's an early part in the Harley Quinn series where Harley Quinn's like, "Hey, yo, Poison Ivy, come on, let's go do crime together." She's like, "Excuse you, I don't do crime." What are you talking about? I am an advocate for the environment. And she's like, what? You rob banks and kill people. I try to save the planet. We are not the same.
And kill people.
She usually doesn't, though.
I'm pretty sure, specifically, I remember episode 1, the little kid who was supposed to be like watering her plants, they got eaten.
Yeah, but that was the plants, that was nature, that wasn't her.
Yeah,
that's just the circle of life, bro. That's not murder.
She was raising plants that could eat people, bro. Plants don't normally eat people when they water them.
See, that's not true. There are plenty of carnivorous plants that do eat people.
Why would you keep them in a fucking apartment and have a child come in to take care of them while you're in fucking prison?
Hey, look, I'm just saying, if you're slow enough to be caught by a plant, maybe you deserved it.
Jesus Christ.
Man, I really said you deserve it. He's a victim blaming.
And look, I've never been eaten by a plant, and I'm slow as fuck, so you know what? They deserve it. Survival of the fittest.
How often have you been around a carnivorous plant that could eat your fat ass?
You know what? I don't know if you've seen my backyard lately, but I think those plants are pretty fucking carnivorous, bro.
Nigga, I've never even been to your place.
Those plants be looking at me going, I'm about to eat you once I get up.
See,
Man is gonna be looking for Kiki one day. He's gonna know what happened.
Oh, dude. So Kiki ran into the backyard, and I was like, where the fuck did you go? It's because it rained hard last week, right?
Yeah.
And then there's just a forest in my backyard. I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck? And then my dog keeps getting lost in the maze of giant fucking weeds that are taller than her.
Worth it.
But,
So yeah, the only reason why I brought up the whole Harley and Ivy going through each other is I'm not necessarily a big DC fan. I mean, I used to be, but I was more infatuated with the fact that, like, you know, Teen Titans, Robin, and then Nightwing got introduced in that one episode where Starfire travels into the future.
Oh yeah, with fucking, what was his name? Professor Light?
Yeah, Professor Light.
Dr. Light is a canonical pedophile. The more you know.
The more
you know.
Also, I'm pretty sure it wasn't Dr. Light. I'm pretty sure it was like
I know it was like some dude from the future who was like.
No, it was specifically Dr. Professor Light. I know this much. I'm pretty sure.
Was it you?
I could maybe. I'm about to.
No, it was
time travel isn't really a doctor-like kind of power. I think it was some sort of like, I think it was like Chronos or some shit like that.
Or maybe it was Chronos.
All I remember that like
also
that what is it, Starfire was like no, and then went through a fucking portal into the future.
Oh, the villain's name was Warp.
Warp, yeah. I was like, that's not Dr. Light. Being a pedophile doesn't give you time travel powers. Because if he could travel through time, then he wouldn't have to be a pedophile.
I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, you could just fast forward to the right.
So I think the whole
Jesus
point of them being a
Christ.
pedophile is that they want them, you know?
I guess.
They go back in time, if anything.
They go
like
back in time to make it worse. No.
they see, you know, a girl who's just starting college, they're like, we can make this better. And then they go back in time. Like, yeah.
Oh god, that
I
gives,
told you
that
we
makes
made it
Doctor,
better.
bro, that makes Doctor Strange's powers even worse. You see him with a time stone?
Fucking take him back
What
to
if, like,
the...
after he nuts in a girl, you know, is it gonna go back inside of him?
Oh, that's hard. Hold on. Have you heard? Because that reminds me of something terrible. Did you ever hear about? Okay, so this is a Harry Potter thing. Did you ever hear about the tweets that
J.K. Rowling?
J.K. Rowling said were like, oh yeah, you see, wizards didn't use plumbing, they would just shit in the streets and magic it away.
Yeah, I'm very well aware.
And then they were like, that's so stupid. It's like, wait, if you nut in a girl, could you just be like, fetus deletus?
Jesus Christ.
I just magic
The
it
question
away.
is, like, you know, do you have to wait until the fetus starts forming, or could you do it like no moment's notice?
I don't know, but based on the Wizards of America, you can't cast any spells on Inception.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. You can already hear it now. Fetus deleted. Oh boy, what is
Bustus
this?
Nutticus.
Fucking use Wingardium Leviosa on your dong.
It's Leviosa.
Leviosa.
If you did cast that on your penis, you know, it starts floating. How would it feel? Are you like getting pulled up specifically by it, or do you float entirely?
I think you're good.
Oh.
What is the level of force that is being applied to it?
Hold on. I think it's just hovering, but I wanted to make a really shitty like 2-frame animation, right? Like Adult Swim animations. Have you ever seen them?
Right.
I wanted to make one where it starts off, you see Harry, but he looks kind of stupid, and Hagrid's like, Harry, you're oh fuck, what are they called? I forgot the terminology. It's people that are born of magic, but oh, squib. You're a squib, Harry. I'm a what? You're a squib, Harry. Oh, what? A squib. So if you don't know what a squib is, I think that's what they're called.
Yeah, there's
fearless
Muggle,
leader.
there's
There's the
Half-Blood,
boss.
there's Squib, and there's the Full Blood.
Yeah, so a squib is someone
What do you
that's
need?
magic born, but they don't have any magic. Right?
Yeah.
So, what if you redid the Harry Potter series, but Harry's a squib?
That would be great.
Okay, so instead of Harry ever casting a spell to like defeat someone, you just see him like, because imagine
Square
this,
up.
like it just looked, no, it's just like this whole series is animated really poorly, so you just see like a JPEG of like a very like wide and short Harry Potter, like
What's up,
moving left
Hefe?
and right,
We're
left
moving
and
that
right to
stuff, right?
simulate walking,
We got it all
and he
loaded
just
up and
waddles
tied.
over to someone and kicks him in the nuts. Oh!
I feel like that's what they would do for the Voldemort fight. Just like, first time he does it is against Malfoy. Like, I don't like you, Malfoy. You're just a squid.
He's like, oh yeah, you don't even know any spells. I do nutcrackers. It's like, but you just see him do it like really stupid shit. I know, I thought it'd be funny.
Yeah, Hazard warrior.
Yes.
But yeah, I can hear a squid, Harry. Oh what?
Oh no, what? A squid.
It's like every time Hagrid keeps saying squid, Harry's what gets more exaggerated by the reaction. A what? A squid.
What? Their eyes slowly going like in separate directions.
Oh, doing little shitty animation of like Harry meeting Ron, and Harry asking Ron if he's a squid too. Like, hey Ron, what's a squid? Oh, you see, Harry, you just won. A what? A squid. A what? It just gets ridiculously worse each time.
Leviosa, not Levi. What?
Leviosa.
Time to change the subject before we get stuck on Harry Potter jokes.
Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man. The Muffin Man.
Hello?
Hello?
I died for a bit.
Oh no, Ollie. You died. And now you're alive.
I didn't, so I was watching a fucking thing that Jazz sent me. So I muted myself so the audio would be playing through my fucking headset.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that I never unmuted myself. I've been talking to myself for like the past 10 minutes. So sad. I don't think that's a good thing.
Everyone is anything. I mean, look at us. If we eat even like a good amount of fucking ice cream, we end up being bloated motherfuckers.
I don't think that's comparable. There's a balance to how much ice cream that you can eat. I mean, not for me, because, you know, I mean, I won't die, but I won't feel great. Regardless of which, shut up, bitch. I watched the new Prey movie, finally.
Ah, yes. Were the reviews it was very exciting. or was it just like over? Maybe people just kind of like went batshit crazy over it.
I'm gonna be honest, it was actually pretty good. Like, so I don't know how the frame will be. It's like formatted. It's set in 17, and it's following a group of a tribe of Comanches, you know, in America. Yeah.
Pre-Columbus?
Yes. No, there's no Columbus. Well, no, Columbus is Italian. It's Spanish. By the way, I'll try not to go into too many details, but Predator versus Comanches, they don't have guns. How it go? It went pretty well. Like, honestly, it was entertaining, and the way that things get resolved, very satisfying in my opinion. Very satisfying.
Nice.
Like, after watching it, you know, I was like, you know, I kind of want more movies like this, at least for Predator. Like, you know, show me him going after fucking Crusaders after their crusade. You know, show me him going after fucking ancient Japanese samurai or Genghis Khan. Like, I want these. I want these. Give me him hunting other fucking warriors from ancient times. Because like I feel like we've seen it enough where he's going after people who have guns. We've seen how that goes. There's always, like, you know, the one or two people left who take care of it in the same way. So I think it would be interesting if we got more ancient times. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
So yeah, to add on to that, yes, I've actually saw like a good amount of posts where people are like, oh, what if, you know, Predator, like what if Predator did this and went against this group of people, and then it was just like, or like what was it? And they would explain like the type of individuals. Like what was it? One of them I read was the samurai.
Yeah.
Another one that I read was about like some, what is it? Some like Spaniard, like some, well, not Spaniard, but like some native tribes that mixed with the Spaniards, who ended up like
they want Mexicans versus the Predator. Let's go.
It'll be a true aliens versus Predator.
You know, Kiko. You know, why don't you send me your address? That's right.
Oh, Javi, you already had your chance when you were here, bro.
You didn't send me your address, bro. What the fuck do you mean?
Bro, you didn't ask for it when you were here, bro. You could have even asked Ricky.
Ricky wasn't even here. He stayed in Phoenix a day longer than I did.
Huh.
He stayed here an extra day with his dad and his little brother. By the way, concert was a fun time. I saw Mena there.
Really?
Okay, alright. So for context, me, Ricky, and you know, my tias, we went to 3 Days Grace concert fucking last week on Friday. Fun time, good concert, good show. Ricky had immediately gone to, you know, go find his dad and his little brother at the front because they had like fucking VIP passes.
Yeah.
So we went to the merch stand to get some shit before the main event started. So we got our shit, and then we went to go find Ricky, and I was guiding the way with my tias and my little cousin in tow, like my little ducklings. And so by the time the main band, 3 Days Grace, were playing, we were at the front. But I was kind of like watching over his little brother, because we weren't front row. We were like 2 sets of people behind.
Yeah. And
we were trying to use the mosh pit to, like, you know, push his little brother up to the front so that he could be with him and, you know, he could watch him and I could die. Because people next to me were smoking. And that was killing me.
Ooh.
So there was this one dude who, swear to God, looked exactly like Mena and was also built like Mena with the meat mallets.
The hammers of justice.
There was no justice. You were fucking elbowing me. So, alright. So this dude was basically the wall between me and Ricky and, you know, getting his little brother to potential safety.
Yeah.
And reuniting him with family. And so, you know, there was also a bunch of fucking, you know, crowd surfers, the usual. And the dude moved out of the way for a second, so I moved in. Fucking Ricky was reaching out his hand. He took his little brother's hand and was trying to pull him through. Fucking Mena lookalike over here comes in and is like squishing his little brother to keep him from passing, and Ricky has to explain, you know, like, no, this is my little brother, you know, I'm trying to get him to be alongside me, this and that. You know, I've got fucking Mena's elbow jammed into my fucking ribs, and I'm dying.
Yeah.
And finally got him up front, and I'm like, all right, cool. I don't have to get jammed in the ribs anyway. No, still getting fucking jammed in the ribs. This son of a bitch. I was gonna punch him. And that's how I saw Mena at the fucking the rock show.
Understandable. So for a moment, not gonna lie, when y'all told me like it got intense, I honestly thought like there was a fight that broke out, or like y'all...
Okay, alright, so there was. This was before I saw Mena. I'd considered waiting for Ricky, but you know what, he can tell his side next week. So, between the time when we got to the front... Yeah, I'm telling the story, Ricky. We were about like 3 or 4 people between us and where Ricky was at the front.
Yeah.
And you know, it was between bands, you know, while they were setting up and shit, so we were just vibing. And there was a dude who like was closer to the front. He went to the back to go get drinks. So this couple moved into his place, and we were like, oh shit, we're moving up too? Let's go. So we move up. I've got my little ducklings behind me. And still just start vibing, text the homies and shit, take a few pictures, and then
you can tell the homies that you love them and you want to kiss them goodnight. No homo.
I didn't have any alcohol. I really should have. But I didn't have any alcohol. Anyway, so this dude comes back and he's basically like shoving his way past everyone to get back into where he was before. And I wasn't one of the ones who got shoved. But the couple, he was basically trying to shove them out of his way so he could get back into his spot. And the girlfriend, you know, she got in his face and, you know, like, no bro, you moved. You lost your spot. And he's like, no, come on, don't be like that. And this was, this dude was skinny, tall, and older. Yeah. And the couple, much shorter, and they were younger, obviously. So they're screaming in each other's faces, and, you know, they start pushing. And the dude with the drinks in his hands, who's right in front of me, immediately fucking spills his drink all over me.
God.
Which so I was off in La La Land. I was zoned out. I didn't even notice any of this was going on. I was vibing.
Yeah. As you should.
I just thought that the shoving, you know, was like, oh shit, the mosh pit's already starting. There's only the radio playing, guys. Come on, calm down. Lights are still on. But the drink, you know, that fucking snapped me back to reality. And I was about to go off on the dude when my tias, they were already like trying to pull me back and shit, and I'm like, Dad, septics. But they somewhat resolved it, you know. I wouldn't say that they calmed down, but they, you know, went their separate ways as much as they could. But the dude was basically right behind them, and I was right behind the dude. And Ricky, he was more aware of what was happening before I became aware.
Yeah.
Because he was like, oh shit, we got soaked, he's gonna get into a fight. So the next band, they come on. The second opener. They're maybe 30 seconds into the first song. You know, it wasn't going all that hard. There was no reason for mosh pit. The mosh pit hadn't even started. You know, when the mosh pit started, it's because they called for it to start. They're like, I want to see some moshers. But this old dude, he starts like fucking throwing elbows into the couple's back. So the boyfriend immediately turns around, you know, gets in his face, and old dude starts trying to choke out the younger dude, the fucking boyfriend. And I'm like, this is a good excuse to hit him. So I jump in trying to rip him off. Ricky jumps in trying to rip him off too. And then, you know, the rest of the crowd starts getting involved. Ricky gets pulled out by his dad, and I get pulled out fucking by both of my tias.
Okay, my friend, you want a popular club, you gotta know how to charm. A compliment here, a free bottle there, and there, and there. It's way more free bottles than compliments.
Because there were like red marks left around his throat. The dude ended up getting ejected from the concert. What do you call it? Eventually they had to, like, you know, call the boyfriend away to like get him checked out to make sure that he was okay. Because goddamn, my man, he was going in. He was fucking going in.
Yeah.
So that's where they got really intense.
Good fucking lord.
Oh yeah, so what do you call it? So the reason that Ricky got to the front so quickly is he went through the mosh pit during the first band while we were at the merch stand. And basically, you know, that got him there quickly. Oh wait, there's more to this. I need to actually open up my fucking phone.
So Ricky has encountered a legendary midget who enjoys mosh pits.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not the only one.
I mean, you know, I feel like it's more common than we might think.
So real quick, there was a point where before Tricky Falls got closed down to fucking church.
Wait, it got closed down?
Yep. Well, like I don't know exactly like if they got bought out, if they closed out, or they just decided, you know, hey yo, we had a good run. But yeah, the area that used to be Tricky's is gonna be a church, which is fucking lame. Churches suck. But
that's strange.
And well, yeah, so at this time, like an old friend of mine told me that the Dropkick Murphys were playing at Tricky, and I went ahead and asked him to buy me my ticket, and I'll, like, you know, pay him back. At the same time, I was married to my very horrible ex-wife. She also wanted to go, instead of like her plan being like me dropping her off at her tia, and then, you know, me going straight to Tricky's right after. She's like, yeah, I want to go because, you know, I don't trust you going to a concert because who knows what's gonna happen. Anyways, you get a tricky, meet up with this dude. I show off our ticket to go in. There's a 6'2" dude in a fucking kilt shouting, "Let's get this!" And like throughout, like in the entire club, you see everybody either wearing like Dropkick Murphy merch. You see them like wearing black or green. And there was there was this chick who was like obviously shorter than me. She was about like her head reaches up to like at least like halfway of my ribcage. She was like that or something. You see this chick like fucking all energized and shit. She's like, yeah, let's get this shit going. Fuck yeah. So Dropkick, they get on stage and they play they end up playing the intro to the Jack Daniels commercial, you know, the din din din. The name of the song is like we're going up to Boston or something like that. Anyway,
yeah, they play a song. She goes on.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna say that was like the first song, but like they played the intro to it as a fucking teaser, and like everybody got so hyped. You see this like in front of me, there was like a circle that was opening up, and you see this chick. She's like, "Hey, who's gonna face against me? Y'all are too scared to take me on." Fucking 6'2" dude in the kilt was like, "Hey yo, so let's go. Let's go." And the girl's like, I'll fucking take you. Full force, she manages to get this dude to take a couple of steps back. And the dude starts laughing and he's like, "Oh, you're a feisty one, aren't you?" And practically like, I'm not gonna say bodies her, but like he
left her looking like Yamcha.
Bro sent her flying to the other side of the fucking circle.
Oh my fucking gosh. I'd call that getting bodied.
But wait, it gets better. So, homegirl was like, she recovers from that. She tells the dude in the kilt, "Hey, yo, is that all you got?" And proceeds to practically tell him that he can't stop until she shouts out like "uncle." Hell nah. Throughout the entire fucking set, before they finished up, before the encore, this chick was going at it it was her against this dude.
Were they fucking moshing or fucking? The way that you're describing it sounds like they were fucking instead.
They were moshing, but it was to each other, so like it was practically mosh fucking, right? Like they only had eyes set on each other, and like everybody else that got in their way would get knocked the fuck out by the tall dude or like the short chick, and it was absolutely
brutal. She could fucking go for their leg release.
My dude, I was one of those victims.
Damn, she really got taken up by the short girl.
So she came. So this is how it goes. So I ended up going into the circle. Yeah, dude managed to find her her G spot. He made it feel good. But anyways, so I go into the circle, even though my ex-wife was like, "Nah, you would protect me because I'm yours, and if you do this shit, I'm leaving." So I was like, "Okay, fuck it, leave. I'm gonna enjoy myself." So I go in and I'm going against, what is it? Like I end up moshing against this couple, like some random dude and a fucking doppelganger of mine. And when I mean doppelganger, I mean like this dude looks exactly like me, only differences, freckles and red hair. So that shit's going down, whatever. And out of nowhere, I got clotheslined by the tall dude, while the short chick got me by the legs. So like, as soon as I landed onto the floor, the wind got knocked the fuck out of me. And it took me, I think, like a good fucking minute to like recover. But after that, I was just like, yeah, no, I ain't fucking with like short chicks or tall dudes in kills, because you never know. You'll probably get clotheslined and tripped down.
See, I've only ever been to one show at Chicken Falls, and it was the Bad Religion show, and that show was fucking rough, because I had fought my way to the front. I'd gone with my dad, and he was off by. I was fucking jamming up front, you know, enjoying myself, having a good time. Fucking some dude came and punched me in the back of the head.
You got
not like they fucking, you know, fucking punched me and then in my dazed state shoved my ass out of the way into the mosh pit. No, just punch and then they moved on. I'm like, what the fuck?
They really said, I'm a donkey punch this Mexican looking motherfucker and just go.
Mexican looking motherfucker in El Paso? That describes everyone.
The one that looks kind of Chinese and his voice doesn't match his face.
Yeah, pain. Absolute pain. When did you turn into JJ?
The moment I heard the pain in your voice when you said, JJ, why?
Every time Cobra fucking slanted. What an absolute animal. By the way, you know, even... Actually, now that I think about it, I think it almost, this is a very big almost every concert that I've been to that was like open floor, I've gotten punched somewhere. Is it at Friggin' Falls? It's the back of the head. When my first ever concert, I want to go see Rise Against over in Albuquerque. Fucking again, I had fought my way to the front. At least this time, it was somewhat understandable. I was hanging out of the bars for dear life. This dude fucking basically came, kicked my shit in, and then threw me into the crowd. Aggressive ass motherfucker. There were like 3 punches in there.
Not gonna lie, I was gonna say, oh, that sounds like a Ricky thing, because when he and I went to Speaking Rock to go see Disturbed in concert, I wasn't sure if it was Nothing More or Chevelle that, like, what was it? No, there was a mosh pit, and fucking I got absolutely swept from like being the front right next to Ricky to fucking being like near the center right and being close by the fucking what's it called, the mosh pit group.
Yeah.
Fun fact, that's where I fucking met my what is it, my ex-girl from J-Town. She
That's fucking wild.
what was it, she was trying so hard not to get into the mosh pit that like I fucking, you know, like I got her by the waist and just practically like switched spots with her just so that way I could be taken in, and I shit you fucking not, ever since then, like I would hear her say, oh yeah, you know what, you can chill right behind me and hold me like this, and I was like, oh shit, I can do this? Is this legal?
Kiko was amazed. I mean, it's legal until it's not. That's how a lot of things are.
It's just, you know, like I've had people tell me like, hey yo, I don't want you like touching me like this, and I'm like, wait, what do you mean? What am I doing? Bro, I just gave you a high five.
Kiko really said, what did I do?
Big time. But yeah, Ricky was like in the front, I got fucking swept back, and every time I went trying to look for him, he is still in the front. But at points, from my view, it looked like he was hanging on for dear life, because there was like people that were trying to get up to like where he was at, and so you see like other people being pulled back or being pushed forward and then pulled back into the mosh pit. But yeah, Ricky had fucking, he had that gorilla grip on to that like fucking rails.
Ricky's like, I never want to hear you fucking describe me with a gorilla grip again.
Hey yo, man, the way that you were holding on to that, you showed that nice dude.
You know, I think the only other exciting thing that happened, not at the 3 Days Grace, but the Rise Kids concert. So after I got my shit kicked in, I was like 14 at the time.
Yeah.
13 or 14. I was trying to make my way back to the front, and again, crowd surfers and shit. There was one dude that was like, there was one dude who was like 3 times my size, and I'm not talking in height, I'm talking in weight. And you know, he was crowd surfing.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect it, so when he came to me, we both went down, and what do you call it? It took me a second to get back up. I was trying to remember how to breathe. Because holy fuck. The last time that I've ever been squished by a big dude like that, where I'm like, oh god, help, was the fucking Arizona trip, when I had fucking Arturo with Jazz on top of me.
God damn.
Yeah. Yeah. PS4 party, or if you wanted to join in GTA. I probably should have asked.
Probably.
Yeah, I'll get it. Oh yeah, by the way, during my visit, I had set up my laptop in my mom's little office. Yeah. And I was in, hey, there it is.
The man, the myth.
AJ, I wasn't sure whether you were saying that you wanted to join podcast or the GTA game. Oh, he's not saying anything. Damn, I can't believe it. The mic is dead. Oh, how young he was.
Oh, speaking of dead mics, I need to get myself a new headset.
Hello?
Ah, there he is.
Hello, Hobby.
Hey, AJ. What's up? How you doing?
Hello. We're just chilling, man. Parentals are out, children are asleep.
Oh yeah, they're at the comic strip, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Abraham, that next week you'll be old enough to go.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Cause I'll have my car ready, so. Yeah.
You're gonna be like, you know what? I don't want to go to the comic strip with you guys after.
I'll just go cruising with like Josh or something.
This shot.
He's learning from.
Oh yeah. AJ over here before I, left. Literally final day, he decides he wants to try to establish dominance and wrestle with me.
So
I think I established it pretty well.
I beg to differ. You got me in strength, AJ. You got me in strength. I've got you in experience and calmness of mind. And also, you walked away more hurt than I did.
Well, it's cause your jeans that hurt, man.
The jeans. Sure, buddy. Sure.
It's that weight room. Got more muscle in you.
You're right. You're right. Can't take damage as well, though.
Not as much. I'm a very durable person.
I've got you beat in that regard. I'm sure by Christmas you will surpass me.
Let's go. High hopes.
Oh, God. I'm about to be like, Mom, I've decided I'm not gonna visit. Aiden's gonna try to beat my shit, and I don't feel like.
Javi, I'm gonna get on creatine, and I'm gonna be bigger than you.
Oh my goodness, this child, this boy.
And by creatine, he means steroids.
That too. Not yet though.
Not yet, he says.
He wants to enjoy the time of his life before he gets that skin flap.
He wants to enjoy, you know, his manhood before he starts producing estrogen. And when that happens, then I'll come and be like, hey, remember when you wanted to establish dominance? My turn.
If it works, it works. All I gotta say.
If it works, I mean, it doesn't work forever, and that's the issue.
It is what it is.
It's what it is, he says.
Damn. Would you like to send me a game invite, sir?
Sure. I don't know how much longer I'll be on for, but sure.
Sure.
Especially considering I forgot to charge my controller and it's dying.
Damn.
Every time, Hobby.
Look. I played a quick game of For Honor before I left. And then I left, came back, took a fat nap, and I haven't turned on my PS4 since.
Like a bear.
Hey, I need naps. Naps are nice.
Your naps are hibernation.
I don't want to hear that from you especially, man. You want to talk about the time where, what do you call it? The day that I invited some friends over, and your ass was supposed to wake up and help me, and I threw all of the cats, including Obsidian, 3 times at you, and you wouldn't wake up.
They're your friends, they're not mine. Why should I help you?
You wouldn't wake up at all. I fucking hit you with a bat.
It's,
and you're calling me a bear.
Well, I'm a bear after the week is done.
You're a hibernating child.
Yes.
The week had just begun, technically.
Yeah, we'll see.
Like a Sunday.
I can't even sleep in on Sundays. I got stuff to do.
I got stuff to do my ass.
Confirmation is stuff to do.
You know what? All that. Fuck, I realized that. I think I have to take time off of that, next year, don't I?
Probably.
God damn it, you children making me take time off. I've got your confirmation, Brandon's graduation. Is there anything else? Probably.
Probably, he says. Doesn't even know.
I don't even... Look, if it wasn't for the fact that I know that you have 17 to go into the comic strip, I wouldn't know how old you are right now. If you ask me how old Danny, Valerie, any of my other siblings, how old they are, I'm not gonna know. I'll give you a ballpark number.
Ballpark number?
I'm probably not gonna be within the ballpark.
We'll be like on the other state or whatever.
I'm gonna be in the wrong kind of ballpark. You guys are playing baseball, I'm over here playing soccer still.
We'll be playing cricket.
Hey. I may be a lot of things, but American is one of them, and I will not hear anything about this cricket. Anyway, I only remember you're 16. I think Granny was gonna be 17? Already 17? I don't remember. Danny was... I wanna say 10.
Don't ask me, I don't know my siblings' ages.
It's even worse for you, you got less than them.
Yeah, I stopped to ask mom every time. I need to know your age for whatever reason.
Oh, mom gets mad at me for not remembering stuff. You're younger, you should remember stuff.
You're older, you need to remember stuff. I have a mother to remind me.
I don't have to remember stuff. Why do I have to remind? Oh my god.
Stop.
The absolute animal reviving you. Come
in.
Damn.
Very unfortunate for you.
You know, Kiko, I don't think I've ever asked you this. I know that you've got like one sister, right? How many siblings do you have?
4.
Are you the oldest or the youngest?
I'm the second youngest.
Ah, okay. I see.
What's that like?
It kind of depends on which sibling POV you get to see it from.
I mean, here's a real question. Is there a difference between, you know, being the second oldest and the second youngest? Because you're still technically the middle child.
No idea, man.
So,
I mean, in that regard, both Kiko and Abraham are middle children.
I mean, I literally am a middle child. I have 2 older siblings and 2 younger siblings.
Correct, you're right in the middle. You're the middleest child.
Yeah.
Also, you're the middleest Are you fucking dad jokes become more appealing to you when you're older.
You're not funny.
I don't want to hear it.
It was a cringe laugh.
Yeah, you still laugh. I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
I still got you.
Whatever you say, man. What's your boat?
He's ashamed to admit that it's only funny.
I will never admit that you're funny.
That's fine.
Ever.
I don't need you to.
The funniest thing I have is dark humor jokes with grandma.
Good lord, man.
I mean, look, to be fair, you know, you never know with grandma. She doesn't know half the things that she says. Like the time that we all played Cards Against Humanity together.
Oh boy.
So I have heard.
Grandma was putting down stuff about, you know, being balls deep in a squealing hog while firing AK-47s into the air. She didn't know what any of that meant. It was hilarious, but she didn't know what it meant and why it was funny. We forced Ricky to be the one to, you know, explain some things to her.
Nice. The way to go.
It was also that Bukaki guy.
Ah, yes. Fucking reminds me of that episode of Family Guy where Stewie introduces Brian to stock market trading. And Brian puts his money into like this shop that like uses dog meat or whatever. And the receptionist is Oriental, and he's like, oh, as your people like to say, boo, kake. Before they fucking, like, knock him out with gas.
You know, I don't mind how wild Family Guy episodes are.
What's better, Family Guy or Rick and Morty?
It depends on who you ask. If you ask him, he's probably gonna say Rick and Morty. Also depends on like which season.
Yeah. Early Family Guy was the best because the jokes were very they weren't forced, but like they just made you laugh.
We'll just say which is better at its peak.
want to hear Rick and Morty was at its peak in seasons 1 and 2. I feel like you could probably say the same thing about Family Guy. I'm gonna be honest, I think I enjoyed Family Guy's jokes a little bit more than Rick and Morty's.
Yeah, I enjoyed the early Family Guy jokes versus the current ones.
But I think I've also been, you know, a little oversaturated with Rick and Morty humor. Like there was, there's that gameplay reveal of some game with Justin Roiland. Where, yeah, the fucking talking gun. And you had that coming. You ran right over there. Anyways, so it's the talking gun, and there's this child who's like, "Oh, go ahead, shoot me. What are you gonna do? Shoot me?" And the gun's like, "No, I don't want to shoot the kid." It's basically just Rick and Morty humor.
Oh, and you see what you made me do? You shot that kid. Man,
yeah.
how do you feel?
It's honestly kind of just the same joke variation for the most part. It's kind of what I noticed. Sometimes it lands. More often than not, kind of doesn't. And that's my stance on Rick and Morty. However, I've only seen like, you know, a few episodes.
Very valid points.
What you doing?
Nothing, man. Just chilling.
Chilling?
Not gonna lie, I'm very, very biased on my shows. So like, I can't tell you like, oh yeah, you know, let me give you a fair like go-to for Rick and Morty or Family Guy or fucking American Dad. But I can go ahead and look at you in the face and say, hey, yeah, peak comedy was seasons 1 through 3 with Family Guy. 4 and 5 kind of got a little bland. And then you know, with American Dad, after the whole like rapture episode, it just kind of made me rethink like, I don't think I should watch this show and laugh at it the way that I usually do.
I mean, honestly, the rapture episode was good. Star Wars Family Guy, also funny.
Oh, I'm not gonna say it's peak comedy, but it does bring light to some of the, you know, Star Wars shenanigans.
It gives me the funny ha-has, and isn't that the most important thing? Yeah, what you doing there, AJ?
I'm trying to get this big truck in.
I see that.
I did it. I did it. I did it.
I'm proud of you. I'm moving away before you said to run me over.
You do that.
Yeah, that's what I did to him earlier with a revolver.
Yeah, I'm just killing people over here by this like little military base thingy.
It'd be like that. Sometimes you just gotta murder some people. Right there, dude.
Right. Only thing that stresses is
still awake.
Watch as you hear gentle snoring in the distance.
No. We would have heard the snoring, you know, a while ago. He is probably still asleep. Well, given that we've been going for like an hour and a half, man is asleep. And I'm gonna be honest, I've talked about what I want to talk about.
Same.
I think it's wrap up. Unless there's some kind of insight that your young teenager brain wants to bring into the podcast that you'd like to discuss.
I have no idea, man. half the people in school smoke. That's all I got.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I can't even blame it on your generation.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Anyways, thank you all for joining me. AJ, it was a short time, but hey, maybe you'll join us again on another podcast for a longer time where we have more shit to talk about.
Hell yeah. I mean, by all means, what's it called? Who was it? Oh, yes. I mentioned this to Daniel before when it was just me and him playing some GTA. What's this called? I miss it too. Darn him and his 12-hour shifts.
Oh my fucking god.
What's it called? I got to play with him and... yes. Timothy is back in El Soto. I made amends with him, and yeah, you know, we chatted, we played, we laughed, we cried, and at one point, I believe, if I am not wrong, or I can possibly be corrected in the future podcast, she did say at one point she would like to come back to it, if you need like an extra member for whatever reason.
Real quick, actually. As a side, that podcast is over because of AJ's feedback. I'm gonna be real, Kiko.